Let's give folks a couple seconds to jump on here, and then we'll get going. And also appreciate this is dinner time, so if anybody's not able to make it, Brendan, we're recording this so you can totally share it with them by email as well. We'll get up on our YouTube channel.
There were 2 or 3 that said they'd get caught up afterwards. So
yeah, all good, all good. Okay, so while we're waiting for a couple of folks to jump on, maybe we'll get started here, and maybe we'll just start by just going around the screen here quickly, and folks can introduce themselves. I'm happy to start. I'm Jeff Hoffman. I'm one of the board members at GMBA, and along with Lindsay, provide some leadership to the House League and select programs, and we're thrilled to see you guys on the call and everybody else who stepped up to coach this year. We've got tons of kids ready to play baseball this year. Our Rally Cap division has absolutely exceeded our expectations. We are way up in numbers, and we're actually up on numbers across the board around GMBA. Lots of people want to come back and play ball this summer. So we couldn't do this without each of you for stepping up and helping. So we appreciate it. Thank you for offering to coach. And so maybe we'll do this. We'll just go around the screen here, and folks can introduce themselves. Maybe let us know what time slot they're coaching into for Rally Cap. We've got the 8:30 group and the 10:30 group. So Amber, do you mind starting us off?
First time I'm doing this, so a little nervous. We'll see how it goes. I have a 5-year-old, and I'll be doing the 8:30 slot.
Cool, Amber. You won't be the first, the only new coach out there. It's totally it's new for our players and for many of our coaches too. It's their first time doing both. So I hope you'll find that we've got a bit of a system in place to help you work along that. So thanks for stepping up, Ramsey.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm Ramsey. I'm in the 10:30 slot. I'm a first-time coach as well. And yeah, very excited. I have a little boy who's excited to play as well. So yeah, looking forward to getting started and meeting everybody.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Ramsey.
No problem.
Becky.
I'm just filling in for my husband, Anthony. He's off playing Frisbee tonight. Awesome. This is his second year coaching Rally Cap, though. He's the 8:30 time slot. He's coached other older teams in the past as well and played and such as well. So he's got lots of experience. So I'm going to say anyone who wants to, go ahead and hit him up for any advice.
And Becky's husband's name is Anthony. So he's been around GMBA for a while. So and if you don't know Becky, Becky's also our diamond assigner for GMBA. So she's booked all the diamonds for us across the board, dealing with all the conflicts we've got, all the rainouts we'll get. Hopefully not too many, Becky? She's our person. So thanks, Becky. How about iPhone 2? Can you hear us there?
So I think I'm iPhone 2. My name's Brad Free. New coach. I have a son, Landon, who will be joining this year. We'll be in a 10:30 slot.
Awesome. Great. Thanks very much. And then Brendan.
yeah, Brendan, new coach, new convener. My son's at the 8:30, but I'll be around kind of in between both. Looking forward to getting started, getting the emails behind us and out on the field. So can't wait.
Us too, for sure. And I'll say before I get Lindsay to introduce herself, if Brendan has had to deal with me and actually I think you guys had some changes recently. And that's because I didn't give him all the information he needed when he was building his team. So if there's any grief for that, if he gets any, it's from me, not on Brendan. He's been all over this. So
Sure.
Appreciate all your hard work, man, to pull us together. It's been awesome. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Hey, Lindsay, over to you.
Hey everybody, I'm Lindsay. This is my first year on the GMBA board, and as Jeff mentioned, him and I are taking care of Select and House League. So any questions, feel free to reach out.
Awesome. Thanks, Lindsay. Okay, and as I mentioned, I'm Jeff Hoffman, and my kids have been through Rally Cap too. I think it's a really great way to introduce baseball to young baseball players. My oldest son went through the program and it was just sort of old school T-ball, and then my youngest went through when it was Rally Cap, and I saw a significant difference in what the program from what we're trying to do with 5-year-olds and 4-year-olds around baseball. And the old system was a lot of standing around. This is a lot more movement, a lot more opportunities, and our kids are a lot more active. And you guys have 5 and 4-year-olds, so you know what it's like, right now, and mine are a bit older, but you want to keep them active. And so that's how the Rally Cap program is designed. So we're going to walk through that in some detail today, of what you can sort of expect to see when you're on the diamond come May 14th. So I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll get going here. And so we're pretty informal here. So as we're going through here, if you've got any questions, anything pops up, just throw your hand up or yell out, and we'll stop and chat about it quickly here. So we talked about Brendan's your convener. Lindsay's the junior commissioner, so she's providing some support for Brendan and the overall group here at our younger age groups. So if you need anything, Brendan can help, or Lindsay or I am happy to help you as well. So from a timeline point of view, things should be in pretty good shape. I think your parents, you should get your team list for Brendan. Hopefully you've been communicating with parents, so they're aware of what's kind of happening. Those things are probably in good shape. And then starting tomorrow, your players and your families can start to head down to Hometown Sports for the uniform pickup. And so looking to get them all picked up by May 13th, the day before you get on the diamond, which is May 14th. And then just to head down to Hometown Sports. And then so there you'll find both the players' jerseys, players' hats, pants, as well as your coach jersey, your coach shirt, coach t-shirt, and a hat for all coaches as well are available to you. So you can pick that up when you head down to Hometown to grab your stuff. Like I said, we've had a really great response for our Rally Cap players, and so we sort of just have enough uniforms for everybody. We don't have lots of extras, so make sure you get the right size for your kid, and get down early to get that done, because there's not a lot of extras in stock. We have some, but not tons, and because our numbers are just up, which is awesome, but it does mean our inventory is not what it typically would be for a typical sort of Rally Cap season. Season begins May 14th, and you're on the weekend. You're on the diamond every Saturday morning, either at 8:30 or at 10:30 a.m. And with us ending on July 16th, so that's 10 weeks of baseball is what you'll get. Rally Cap is a skill-based development session. It's based on Baseball Canada's Rally Cap program. And so what you'll get every diamond is assigned 3 teams. So there'll be 3 teams on each diamond, and they all practice together. There's a small sort of game that they'll play together during each of the practices, and the players and coaches rotate throughout all the stations at the practice. And then we provide weekly practice plans for you as coaches. So every single week you have a practice plan from week 1 right through to week 10 to walk you through your season. And through Brendan, we'll share those practice plans with you this week, so you can have them, take a look at them, get to know them, and work your way through those plans. And they sort of build off each other week by week. And then what happens in Rally Cap is there are 2 evaluation sessions. So midway through the season, so week 5 and again week 10, we run some sort of fun evaluations and it works a lot sort of like swimming lessons, where we got a little report card. And so the skills we're trying to build in players, we evaluate those skills. And then those players that have developed those skills get a sticker for their little report card piece that they get to hang on to. And there are different milestones based on different players. So certain players have gotten to a certain level, they'll get a different higher level sticker. And then others that are at the next level, would get that levels of sticker. It's really, it's easy going. Everybody gets a sticker, right? Hey, we want to make it fun and easy. And we have found too that everybody is able to progress those first couple levels with no trouble. But you might find you have a couple players who are really strong, especially the 5-year-olds who maybe did this last year, who may be pushing some of the next levels up as well. And you can absolutely reward them if they if they've got those skills and can complete those tasks to get to that level. And we're going to walk through a little bit of that, what that looks like a little bit later on here as well. So a little bit of a report card kind of deal that you get to sort of show your progress as you work your way through the season. And those are sort of fun days too, where you can, maybe have some families bring some snacks to the diamond, and have some freezies or something at the end of practice, or just have some fun with your players on those days. And then rain. Last year we had lots of rain on Saturday morning. I have no idea why, but if there is any rain, Brendan will be your person. He'll let you know if we're going forward or not. And on the weekends, the city of Guelph doesn't close diamonds. It's up to us to make that decision whether or not we close diamonds on weekends. So if there's rain and the diamonds aren't in good shape, Brendan will make that call, try to get that out to you in advance, so you're not, carting your kids off to practice. And so you probably hear from them pretty early, probably around 7:30 or so, knowing that you guys got to be out the door, not long after that. to head off to practice if it's a wet morning. So if we do get anything canceled, we will absolutely do our best to reschedule it. Becky's on the call here. Becky will be the one to help us reschedule that, and we'd find some time probably during the week, maybe or on a Sunday. To be honest, might be a Sunday later on the season to get that Saturday session. And so you probably have a week where you have 2 sessions to make up the one that got rained out, and we'd work through that if needed. So here's how it kind of works. And so I'm going to pull up a practice plan in a second. But everybody's going to get a practice plan that looks like this, that walks you through your practice. And then and so what you'll see from a diamond setup is it will look a little bit like this. So when you're on a diamond, your practice is split up into into 2 sessions or 2 sections. There's a skill rotation that lasts about 30 minutes. And then there's a game rotation that lasts about 30 minutes. You're at the diamond for about an hour every single week, somewhere in that range, 70, maybe 65 minutes, but about an hour or so is what you're on the diamond. If your players are really into it and you can go longer, you're more than welcome to. But I think you probably find that an hour is probably just the right amount for our young baseball players. And then so during the skill station, you'll have station 1 here in right field, station 2 in left field, and station 3 in the infield, and players will rotate. So if you start in station 1, your team starts at station 1, they'll go to station 2, and then 10 minutes later they'll go to station 3, and that'll be how you work your way through the skill area. And then what you'll be working on each week is throwing, catching, and fielding through a number of sort of age-appropriate games and drills to help develop those skills. And so it'll look something like this here. So this is what you might see in, actually, I'm going to back this up. I'm going to go to a different one. Hang on one sec. I'm going to just switch here. I'm going to pull up. Yeah, let's use this one here. Okay, so you can see this practice plan, right? On my screen right here. Okay, awesome. So this is white cap, gray cap, practice number 2. So this would be week number 2's practice for you. And so here's what you'll see. And most of our practices look, the outline looks just like this here. So all players, so all 3 teams would do the warm up together. So you kind of line up on the diamond, spread everybody out, and work through a basic warm up, right? You might go for a light run, and then you might do a military walk, high knees, butt kicks, shuffle, some Super Mario jumps, which are just jumps in the air where you jumps where you raise your hand in the air like you would Super Mario, brother, and some arm circles forward and back. I appreciate that your 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds probably don't need to warm up. They've probably been running already all day long, because that's what they do. They don't walk, they run from point A to point B usually, but this is just about good habits, right? And when you come to baseball diamond and before you start your practice or your game, we warm up. So that's what we're trying to develop here. So spend about 5 minutes and sort of a fun warm up to get the heart pumping a little bit. And then in this week here, one of the things we want to teach is just some basics around baseball, right? So he's got this base running drill where everybody would take part, which is called the train. And it's where everybody starts at home plate and they form a line, they jog around the bases, saying the name of the bases as they touch it. You can have parents join in if you want to in this activity. As you know, this is the intro level to baseball. Which way do you run when you hit the baseball? What are the bases called, right? So that's just a real simple way. As a train, as a group, everybody just works their way around the bases. You do it a couple times, and as you get to know the names of the bases, right? And then from there, we move to the skill rotation, which is what we talked a bit about just right here with the setup of the diamond here for the skill rotation. And what you'll do is you'll split your team into 3. You'll split into your 3 teams. And your 3 teams will be in 3 stations, and there'll be the 3 rotations as we talked about. Team 1 in station 1, team 2 in station 2, team 3 in station 3. Each rotation lasts for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you would rotate 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 and 3 to 1, and so on and so forth, right? So in station 1 here, out in right field, we're working on throwing a baseball. And the first part about throwing a baseball is actually how you hold a baseball. And so Baseball Canada has developed this exercise called handcuffs. And then there's a video link right here to handcuffs and how it works. And a bit of a description about that drill, what you're looking to do, players paired up with each other or with a parent. And I would really encourage us with our 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds to ask your parents to help you at your practice, especially in the throwing stations, and to encourage them to actually bring their gloves to practice and to be on the field with you And when you're playing catch, have a parent or an adult at least play catch with that player. Having 2 5-year-olds play catch together is not going to work. And if we're going to teach really good baseball skills, being able to have, not chasing baseballs down is probably a good thing, right? You get more throws in. And on top of that, when you get the ball thrown back to them, the adult can throw the ball back in a way that makes sense for that baseball player, right? Most of our players will hold their glove out like this, and the adult will just lightly toss the ball, land in their glove. Everybody will feel great, like we caught a baseball. That's the way we want to start, right? Just about to build lots of confidence, and nobody's getting hurt as well. And so having parents involved in your practice is probably your number one, the biggest thing you can do as a rally cap coach to make your practice go as efficient as possible. And if you encourage them to not bring the lawn chair and help you out at practice, or just be a part of it with their kid, you're totally welcome to do so. I think it'll make a much better practice. And so most of the drills have a video here. We'll watch the one around handcuffs here just to get a sense of what that looks like here. Actually, I'm going to reshare my screen here because I don't think I shared it with audio. All right, let's get out of here. Here's the
handcuffs. The handcuffs exercise teaches players the proper way to hold the ball. To hold the ball, it should always be held with 2 or 3 fingers and not in the palm of the hand. Have players pair up with one another, facing each other, and approximately 5 feet apart or more. In the seated position, have one player pick up the ball off the ground and simply show it to their partner. From here, there are many progressions or alternatives, which all involve showing the ball to their partners. They can either throw the ball 2 feet in the air to themselves, throw it to their partner, or do a combination of the two. Throw from the kneeling position or while laying on their back.
Most of your players will not be able to throw it to each other. Those players are a little bit older and or have lots of practice, so they look really good. Some of the throw mechanics are great, but that's you'll find all of these exercises. Most of them have a video component too, so you got the description here that's in writing, but also the video description too, to sort of the video to help you understand that drill a little bit more detail. They talk about 2 fingers or 3 fingers. I think with 4-year-olds, I think it's gonna be your whole hand. It's totally cool, right? But it's just about holding that ball, picking that ball up properly, and if you can get them to hold it in a 4-seam grip, that'd be awesome. And it doesn't matter if it's a whole hand, 3 fingers or 2. So that you do that for about 3 minutes, just about how do you hold a baseball in your hand. Then you'd move from there to the exercise Baseball Canada calls the wheel, which is teaching players how to throw a baseball. And we'll watch this video too. It's fairly short, but also a nice simple exercise around throwing a baseball here. And this is one that you're exercise that you're going to run at each of your practices as well here. So this is the wheel progression.
The wheel. The wheel exercise is designed to teach players the proper mechanics for throwing a ball. Simply have players in pairs, play catch with the proper mechanics. Before throwing, explain to the players that the longer the arm circle, the faster the arm speed. Make sure players hold the ball properly, facing away, and that the glove foot goes forward just before throwing. Some variations to the drill are: players simulate throwing without a ball. Players play catch while either sitting with their legs crossed, on both knees, or from one knee. You can have players perform movements on command, such as throwing arm goes down, reach back, and lift arm to shoulder height. Lastly, have players execute 3 circles before throwing, small, medium, and large ones.
That lefty could really catch. That's impressive. Hey, so that's the wheel. You'll see that in all your practice plans. Again, I think having a parent that the player's playing catch with is, or if you can't get a parent, spread your coaches out, and so that they're throwing with an adult. It'll really help your practice. So we got 3 minutes on handcuffs, 5 minutes on the wheel, and then you'll move on to your next station. So that group will now move to station 2, which is located in left field. So in left field, you're going to keep throwing, and there's a couple games here we're going to work on. So one's called Over the Line, and it's where you divide your team into two equal groups, right? And using whatever balls you got, softballs, wiffle balls, baseballs, ask them to throw a ball over the line. So in your team bags, in the bags you got, so every coach or every diamond has one team bag with tons of gear in it. I think a few of you were in there picking stuff up from us, and it's heavy as anything, right? There's so much stuff in there. There's rope in there, so you can put a line down. And the idea with this over the line drill is quite simple. You just stand back and throw the baseball as far as you can, throw it over the line. You're not throwing the ball to anybody. You don't have to worry about the person catching the ball. It's just about throwing the baseball far. You can make it a little competition, have a little bit of fun. How many people can throw the ball past the line? And then as you progress, you can have different progressions or variations to it as well that you find here in this exercise. So you do that for about 4 minutes or so. And then there's another game here called the relay, or another exercise called the relay. Again, you're in two groups, and you've got some balls set up, maybe a hula hoop filled with balls, or maybe you just use the rope to make a bit of a circle. And you get some cones, that are 15 or 30 feet away, and you're trying to, as a team, throw as many balls as you can, as close as you can to those cones. Maybe hit those cones or throw them close to those cones as well. So you're working on a bit of accuracy now with your throwing, having a little bit of fun, a little bit of competition between the two groups. And again, if you're looking for a video link, there's one here on the relay, how it works. And then station 3, once you've done that, so that you've been there in that area for 10 minutes, right? 4 minutes with over the line and 5 minutes with the relay. Then you move to station 3, where we work on catching a baseball. And we talk about catching the ball like an egg, and talks about catching the ball and bringing it into your body here. And so there's a video here, and the variations, the progressions on how you can work through that piece of it. And then the last piece we're working on when you're in the infield area, so you work on catching. Now we're going to work on fielding a ground ball. We use the crocodile technique. We use this throughout, all the way through rookie ball or pitching machine levels. Around just fielding a ground ball, 2 hands, and claps in the mouth of the crocodile on the baseball. And again, video links and how you work your way through that as well. So every team rotates through those 3 stations. That will take you about 30 minutes or so on the sort of skill station setup here. And then you'll move to the game station diamond setup. So you still have 3 stations set up in the game part. Station 1 somewhere in the outfield, and then station 2 which is the batting area, and station 3, which is a group in the infield. And so again, you got 3 teams, and so each team is in each station. You got team 1 maybe station 1, and team 2 is station 2, team 3 is station 3. In station 1 in the outfield, we're focusing on hitting. So we're going to a couple tees out there, and we're focusing on hitting a baseball. So everybody's got their helmet on and their bat, and they're all in the outfield, and we're hitting off a tee in the outfield. And then station 2 and station 3 we're going to play a half inning of a baseball game. And so the guys that are hitting in station 2, they would we'll walk through this in a little bit, but you're going to hit, and then this group in station 3 are going to field the baseballs and try to make some plays. And then we rotate around, again, 10 minutes per station. You rotate around and play sort of a small t-ball game. And so the game rotation, stay in your 3 teams, 3 stations, 3 rotations. We talked about where everybody starts. So station 1, located in the outfield, is we're going to work on hitting and t-ball. And so we recommend a couple things here. We set up that you set up 2 hitting stations. So you have 2 tees in the outfield, spread out far enough apart, and with lots of kids hitting, 2 players hitting at the same time. You can have you'd have a coach with each player. Everybody's got their helmet on, so we're nice and safe here. And we're probably hitting a wiffle ball off the tee. So in your bag, you should have wiffle balls in your tee. So those balls don't fly as limited flight balls, and that you don't hurt as much if you get hit with them. And it's a good, nice sort of safety piece as well. So you've got 2 players hitting, and the rest of your players in sort of fielding those wiffle balls and throwing them back in, right? And Baseball Canada's got some key teaching points here around hitting, and they're really sort of basic when it comes to hitting. There are three key pieces here. Number 1 is that their feet are wider than their shoulders. Hands are high and back, up by their ears here, and that their hands are together on the back. They're not separated. Those are the 3 sort of main key teaching points that in this part of the that season here around hitting. So once everybody's had a chance to hit, then you bring the next group in, and so you got 10 minutes or so to get everybody on your team through that hitting station. As you progress through the season, you see the plans will also incorporate the ability to hit, a coach maybe throwing a ball underhand to the players to try to hit a ball in flight. But obviously that's what we're trying to progress to. By the time we get through the 6U age group, we want players to be able to hit a ball in flight, because in 7U they hit off a pitch machine to start with. And so if you've got some players by the end of your 5U season that can hit a ball that's in flight, absolutely feel free to throw them some underhand balls and have them hit some wiffle balls. So you can absolutely make that progression as you see fit. So while that's happening out here in the outfield, we've got the game stations. We've got the hitting station and we've got the fielding station. So in the hitting station, everybody's hitting. Everybody's got their helmets on. They're all hitting. You've got 10 minutes to sort of rotate through everybody in your team as much as you can. So if everybody gets hit twice, awesome. If some people hit twice and a couple of people only hit once, kind of make a note of that. So next game, the next week, you can make sure that those players get those extra at bats, and then rotate yourself around for about 10 minutes or so. And then after you're done hitting, you'll go, and then the third group is in the fielding station, and they're in different positions around the infield. The pitcher has to have a batting helmet on when they're playing the pitcher position. And then I think the biggest key that we're trying to help our young baseball players on is that not everybody chases that ball when it gets hit, right? If that ball's hit near you, you go get it. Otherwise, you have a base to cover. So if you're the second baseman, the ball's hit to shortstop, you go cover second, let the shortstop field that ball. And then move your players around. Again, you can move them around batter to batter. You can switch positions if you want with them, or you can move batters around, game by game or week by week. It's up to you how you want to handle that piece of it. But ideally, obviously, we want players playing all the infield positions, all the outfield positions. Your teams will have anywhere from 7 to 9 players on them. Some have 9, some have 7. And so, you won't have everybody at all your practices, your sessions every single week. So, just do your, fill out the positions as it makes sense with the players that are there that day. Okay. And then, after you, and after 10 minutes, the group that was hitting in the outfield moves to the batting station. They already got their helmets on, they're ready to go. The team that was batting goes to the fielding station, and the fielding station group goes into the outfield and hits. And then you'd rotate one more time. So everybody's had a chance to hit in the outfield in the skill station, hit during the games portion, and play defense in the fielding station. And that is our typical structure, sort of week by week, that you'll see as the season progresses. The one thing I will point out for you is week 1 is the very first week session. Maybe I'll pull that plan up so you can take a look at that with us. Week 1 has a few less rotations to it, because we certainly recognize your first week getting to the diamond, getting everybody set up and organized, probably not going to be as efficient working your team through your stations as you would be as you move along the season. So in week 1, there is just one 45-minute rotation. There isn't a skill rotation and a game rotation. There is just a rotation that involves 3 stations. One is a game station, and one's the fielding station, and then the skill station in the outfield has some throwing and some hitting as part of it. So it's a slightly different rotation for week 1 than what we just went through. But what we just went through is what you'll see from week 2 right through to week 10 as part of your progression. But we wanted to give you a bit of time on the first week just to get things organized and meet families and figure it all out. Any questions about the practice plan part here?
One question, you mentioned the team bags. Where do we pick those up?
So there would have been a coach from each. So they've all been picked up. And Brendan can probably speak to this, but they've all been picked up by at least one coach on your.
Yeah, so they were all picked up. So each field has a team bag, and I can't remember who picked up each one, but the idea was after that first session, we'd come up with some type of rotation to make sure we're getting it there every Saturday and figuring out different ways for other people to get them.
Why talking?
Okay, thanks.
What other questions we got? Okay. So as I mentioned, this is a part of Baseball Canada's Rally Cap program, and there'll be 2 Rally Cap evaluations. This is sort of assessment. I don't think it's the right word. We're not just a way to sort of have a bit of fun, track some progress. but also just as a different way to add a bit of variety for our players, and quite frankly, just to have a bit of fun on the diamond here. So week 5, June 11th, and week 10, July 16th are the Rally Cap eval session weeks. And the evaluations replace our practices these weeks. So there's no this will take your full hour to work your way through the evaluations. And so I think this is going to bring us up. Yeah. So this is what you'll get. And Baseball Canada is actually sending this to us shortly. So we haven't got them yet at GMBA, but they'll get it to us soon, and we'll get them over to Brendan to get out to you. And so what you'll be doing is, so for most of your 4-year-old players, you'll be evaluating probably in the on deck level, this first level here. And where things that they'll need to be able to do as a player is jump over a line 10 times, be able to throw a ball 5 feet, be able to catch a ball thrown from 5 feet from an adult, hit a ball off a batting tee, and run around the bases in the correct direction without stopping. If they can do all those things, they get the sticker for the on deck level. Awesome. And then if they're a bit more advanced, and then those 4-year-olds who are brand new, they might be, next time you evaluate them at the end of the season, they might be at the home plate level. And they got to be able to stay in the pitching position for 5 seconds, so balance on 1 foot, throw 3 to 5 balls to a coach from 10 feet, field 3 to 5 ground balls rolled from 15 feet, hit 3 to 5 fair balls off a batting tee, and hit off a batting tee and run through the base. So you might have, so they get all those, great, they get the home plate level sticker. And then idea is the 4-year-olds is hopefully hang on to this for next year. And then we can get some stickers that we add in here for the single level and the double level. Because in that 6-year, and our 6-year-olds kind of work on the triple level and the home run level. So we work this over sort of 3 years is kind of how it works. If you can't keep if you don't have your, I don't know if it's realistic to ask people to hang on to it for a year, because I tell you, my family would never hang on to it for a year. So we would obviously give you some more stickers when next year you come out. This in the past, Baseball Canada used hats for this. So if you were around last year, your players got different colored hats based on the level that they were moving through. They've moved to the sticker approach now is what they're using. So we all get the same hat now. We don't get different colored hats. They got these stickers as you move their way through. But you might have some players who are like, you're like, wow, this player can really play some ball. And so they might be at the single level already. So when you're evaluating them and they can throw a ball 25 feet and they can catch 3 or 5 balls from 15 feet, then let's give them that, and they can handle all these things here. Let's give them that sticker. If they earned it, let's give it to them for sure. You can absolutely provide that sticker to that player who's at that level for sure. Okay. And so you'll do that as a coach. It's totally flexible. Do what's best for your team. Everybody will at least get these 2 stickers by the end of the season, the on deck sticker and the home plate sticker. And some may progress to the single or maybe even the double level, or maybe even further, depends on what they've been doing. But that's how you'll evaluate your players on weeks 5 and on week 10. Any questions around the evaluation piece?
Is that is the assessment kind of an all or nothing? If they don't meet the 5 things, they don't get the sticker? Or how is the assessment based?
Yeah, no, it's pretty easy going. So I think at a minimum, I would think most of our players will be able to get these first 2 ones, no trouble. And so I think you'll find that by the end of the season, these will be no trouble to handle these ones here at home plate. And then the first time you do it. So I think everybody will get a sticker, right? But I don't think everybody not everybody will get maybe a sticker at the single level or the double level or beyond that, right? But I think you'll find everybody can get here. If you do, though, to answer your question, if you do end up with somebody who just can't hit the ball off the tee, right? Like maybe instead of putting a baseball, you put a soccer ball in the tee and you find a way to hit the soccer ball. So you have soccer balls in your bag. And so you try everything you can as a coach to get them that sticker, right? Because at the end of the day, we want everybody to have at least 2 stickers on their evaluation sheet. And you can do whatever you need to do to help that young baseball player get that sticker, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great question. Okay. So that's really the info around the practices and how it goes week by week. And I'm just going to jump on the GMBA website for a second and just show you a couple quick things here, and then we can wrap up here. So for Rally Cap, so if you haven't been here before, GMBA.ca, then under leagues here, you'll find your 8:30 group for 5U or 10:30, and then on here is your schedule. And so your schedule doesn't really change week by week. but there is one change in here that just so you're aware of. So we have Norm Jerry booked all morning long, and that's where we run our rally cap sessions. So starting here on the 14th, so this is team number 1 at the 8:30 time slot. So you're practicing at Norm Jerry from 8:30 to 10-ish, probably 8:30, 9:30 realistically. However, in June 11th, we have to move that practice to a different diamond. So June 11th, you're going to be at Aramasa 1 if you're team number 1 here. And so that's the only week that has to move, but just something for you to be aware of, something to let your parents know about as well. Brendan, probably something good for us to send a reminder out the week before that, hey, we're not at Norm Jerry this week. So
I was planning to kind of email everyone that week, just as a reminder.
Yeah, perfect. That's also the evaluation week. So you'll be doing your evaluation at a different diamonds. It shouldn't really matter because you're you have all your gear. But just a heads up that week is we're not at Norm Jerry that week. We think there's a slow pitch tournament or fastball tournament that weekend, and then our season ends here on the 16th of July. And then the other thing you'll find on here, if you're at all interested, if we just want more coaching resources, there's tons here under the coaching tab here. Feel free to jump on here and work your way through all the resources we've got for our coaches. Particularly down near the bottom here, there are some just great tools around and instructional videos around base running or pitching, hitting for you guys, and fielding, catching if you wanted those skills there as well. And then the last thing I'll share with each of you too is just Baseball Canada's Rally Cap program. So they've got lots of resources around the Rally Cap program. It's a big part of what they do to initiate and get young baseball players into the program. So if you just come to baseball.ca/rallycap initiation program here, you can get all the information around the Rally Cap program, all the drills they've got, all the resources they've got access to. You can certainly work your way through here as well. It's a nice tool for you as a coach as well. So last couple of things here for you, and then I'm happy to take any questions. Police checks. So if we need police checks done for any new coaches, and if you've coached before, we need you to fill out a declaration, letting us know that nothing's changed on your police check. And so we'll get this whole slide deck sent out to you. But if you live in the city of Guelph, you got to do your police check online with the Guelph Police Services at this website. If you use this code here and this expiry date, you won't have to pay for that police check. And then if you live out in Wellington County or one of the townships, you got to go to your local OPP office to get that done. And they'll just need a letter from GMBA letting them know that you are a volunteer of ours, and they won't charge you for that police check either. So if you're a new coach, please get your police checks done and send those into Brendan. And then if you have done a police check with us recently at GMBA in the last 2 years, then you can just download this form from our website. And just fill it out, and by doing that, you're declaring that nothing's changed from the police check that we already have on file for you, and then you don't need to get a new one for that 2-year period there as well. And if you've done a police check recently for another sport or for work in the last 6 months, you can use that police check as well. We can absolutely accept that police check. You don't need to do another one. That's really about it. We're ready to get going. Let your parents know to swing by Hometown Sports starting tomorrow. Grab their uniforms. I really encourage you to connect with those coaches you're practicing with. If Brendan can let you know if you don't know who you're practicing with, let you know who the other coaches are, so you guys can talk a bit about a plan for your first practice. And then, as I mentioned, jump on the GMBA website and check out any of our coaching resources. So I think that's it for us. I don't know if Lindsay or Brendan, if you have anything else to add, or if anybody has any questions at all.
Nope, I think we're good.
Yeah, Amber, you got a question?
I'm just curious what would happen if I was ill. We haven't been sick yet with COVID, but I feel like our time is coming.
Yeah. So Brendan, every team's got a couple coaches, right? Or at least 2 coaches. Am I right about that?
Almost every team has 2. The idea is that once parents start helping out a little bit, I think we could try to ask kind of more and more to step up in more of a formal role, not just the helping out, but I think every team was close to 2 when I checked last.
Cool, awesome. And then if there was a week where there was no coaches, then that's one of the great things about us having multiple coaches on a diamond and multiple teams. We just collapse those teams. Like we take your team, in this case Amber, and maybe split them in half and put half with one team, half with the other, and just those coaches provide leadership that day as well on the field. So we would do that if that was to happen.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then my other question is, I'm assuming it's best to come ahead of time to set up.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what type of time frame you would recommend for that.
So probably like if every coach was there 15 minutes before, it wouldn't take you long. Every coach is going to say, I'm going to station 1, station 2, station 3. You'd be good to go, if everybody was there at the same time. And then you'd be back at the diamond for when all the players get there, and then you could start right at 8:30 or right at 10:30. I really appreciate for you 8:30 coaches that it's early enough to get your kids up and out of the door and bed and all that good stuff. Maybe not, but either way, 15 minutes, 20 minutes before is good. But yeah, absolutely, getting there beforehand is an important thing to make sure that way you can start right on time, which parents would definitely appreciate. What else? Okay. I think that's it. So hey, again, thank you all for stepping up. We really appreciate it. I know I'll be by. I'm sure Lindsay will be by your diamond too this summer to check it out, see how things are going. Just can't thank you enough for offering to coach this year. And if we can help in any way at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're always here to lend a hand. And thanks again for stepping up. Have a great evening, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, well, take it easy.